So today we are working on adding tenths and hundredths. So we're going to use what we know about equivalent fractions to add. Write an equation to show your work. So for our first one, it says 5 tenths plus 27 hundredths. So I'm thinking in my head, if I have 5 groups of tenths, that is going to be the same as 50 hundredths. Because I took my 5 groups of 10 and I added them together like this. I'll just write it up here. So I took 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. And so it's all together. So I wrote it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times because it said I have 5 groups of 10. And if I add that together, I know that that equals 50. And so now I have 50 hundredths. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 27 hundredths to it as well. So 27 hundredths. Sorry guys, it's kind of hard to write with this. So if I take 50 plus 50 hundredths plus 27 hundredths, what do I get? Yes, I get 77 hundredths. All right, let's look at the next one. 16 hundredths plus 7 tenths. So, I know I can leave my 16 hundredths where they are, so I'm just going to write 16 hundredths. But now I have 7 tenths. So if I think about it and I do it the same way that I did above, I know that I'm going to get 7 different groups of 10. And when I add 7 groups of 10 together, I get 70 hundredths. And when I add 16 plus 70, I get what? Yes, you should have gotten 86 hundredths. All right, now let's go ahead and go on to the next screen. Use what you know about equivalent fractions to add. Write an equation to show your work. So, if I'm looking here, I remember when I add fractions that if the 8 over 100 plus 6 over 100, and so now all I'm going to do is leave my denominator the same, because if I look here, they're the same denominator, and then I'm going to add 8 plus 6, and 8 plus 6 equal 14. Okay, so my answer that I should have gotten is 14 over 100. Now, let's try 42 plus 9. So I'm going to write 4200 over 100 plus 9 over 100. Now I just need to add 42 and 9 together. When I add 42 and 9, I get 51 over 100. All right, let's try the next one. So this one looks a little different. I have 3 over 10 plus 50 over 100. And I know that I can't add together two denominators like that. So I need to change my 3 tenths into hundredths. So how am I going to do that? Change my denominator to 100. And so when I'm looking at this, I can think about using 0 as my hero trick. So if I add a 0 to the bottom, to the tens, I know that I'm going to have to add it to the top as well. So I added a 0 here, and then I added it on the top. Now, since we changed it, we can now add it to the 50 over 100. So I'm taking 30 hundredths plus 50 hundredths. And if I add those together, I get 80 hundredths. Okay? Let's try the next ones. I need to make sure my denominator is 100. So for 1/10, I'm going to make it my denominator hundredths to match this one and this one. And then I know that I use the 0 as my hero trick, so if I put 1 up here, down here, I need to put 1 up here as well. And so then I can leave 5 hundredths where it's at. Now I have 20 over 100. Oh, sorry, my mistake. I have 20 tenths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my denominator to 100 because I wanted to match my other ones. And then, same trick as before. I put my 20 on top, and then I just add another 0 because I added 1 0 to the bottom, so I know I need to add another 0 on the top. And now I can leave my 55 hundredths the same. Okay, now I need to add all these together. So what do I get when I add all of these numbers together? 270 over 100. Okay, now let's see if we can simplify that. How many times, or we can think of this way, how many groups of 100 are in 270? Yes, so we know that there are 2 groups of 100 in 270. So here's how we're going to simplify it. We're going to use the 2, and we know we can take away 2 groups of 100, which is 200. So we take 270, and we subtract 200. We get 2 and 70 hundredths. 2 and 70 hundredths. Now it looks a little better. All right, let's try number 7. So we're going to add these together. We're going to do the same thing. I know it might look tricky because there is mixed numbers now, but we're still going to do it the same way. So we're going to put 1, and I want to change my denominator to 100 again. So I added a 0 to the bottom, so no, I know I have to add the 0 to the top. Then I add it with 6 and 35 hundredths. That equals, yes, so that equals 7 because I added my 1 and my 6, and then I leave my denominator the same. And now I had 20 plus 35, which equals 55. Okay, and so now I have 7 and 55 hundredths.